In today's video, I'm going to be doing something I haven't really done much before. Today is another tutorial video kind of thing. This is almost a mini series. There's going to be 3 episodes in this series, and in this little series, yes, I keep saying series a lot, we're just going to be doing a bit of learning on how to get a verified level in Grab. This is the best way that I know to get verified levels. I've had more than 25 plus verified levels. I think I'm pretty qualified to do this at this point. So let's just get straight into it. Hold on. There's one thing I forgot to add. This is mainly for beginners. If you know a bit about rotation snap, ideas, color theory, and all of that, skip this video. Go to the next one. This one's for beginners, alright? Don't feel discouraged if you need this video. A lot of people do. I encourage you to watch it. But if you know that you're pretty good at most of the stuff I just mentioned, just go to the next one. Anyways, I'll see you later. In this first episode, we're going to be talking about getting ideas, some tips, and we're actually going to learn about fundamentals before we actually make the level. Up first though, we're going to talk about ideas. So one thing that you want to do is make sure you've got original ideas that are going to make you get a verified level. When making verified levels, one of the things that gets verified levels verified a lot of the time is because they're actually original. Making ideas can be some of the hardest parts of the building process because you have to be kind of original with your ideas while still being easy to understand. So in this first episode, we're going to be looking at my old level Gone, which is a level that I made with the idea of only using a few blocks from the old sort of versions of Grab. In this level there is a stone block, the lava block, the ice block, and the cheese block. And that was my idea. Now, this idea has been done before. Some levels only use bounce blocks and stuff. Some levels only use a certain amount of blocks. And that was kind of what I was taking my idea from. Sometimes your idea doesn't have to be fully original. And that's why this level exists. Because there are many other levels that are similar to this where they use only a few objects and none of the rest. A good example of this is the level Fog, which mainly uses stone. And that's just the level that I can think of off the top of my head. But having an original-ish idea is going to give you a high chance of being verified. Let me just show you. If you have to think of the most popular sort of level, what would you think of? Probably either horror maps or difficulty charts. Now, if we go to the rules and then the verification guidelines, we can see difficulty charts, gorilla tag, chase, backrooms, and other very common level types will usually not get verified. That is because they aren't original at all. They are the most overdone ideas. That doesn't mean your level has to be completely original though. Like I said, Gone has been copied off a few other levels. Even though this level is older than a few of them, there are still some levels that I got this original idea from. As long as your level is decently original, with only a few people doing it, and you're not taking the full level idea, you're most likely going to get verified. Now, actually making your idea is quite hard though. One of the ways that you can do it is just going into the verified levels tab and seeing what has been made and seeing if that idea could be turned around to make something different. For myself, I've actually already made an idea for the map that I'm going to create during the series. And let me show you what I've done. In my notes app, I quickly jotted down the rough idea. And I wrote this. Now this is basically the main gimmicks, the level name, and obviously this level name isn't a full level name, it's just a rough level name for me to decide later. But in this level I've wrote down these little notes, and what I'm going to be doing in this level is basically, you can imagine a grid, right? And in those grid there will be these little blocks. Some of them will be white, some of them might be blue. And if you touch a white one, you'll go in a different direction. If you touch a blue one, you'll go to the next level. Sort of stuff like that. That is what I wanted to make for this level. You'll see how I kind of picture it more in the future episodes. Speaking of the future episodes, I'll probably be uploading another episode in approximately 3-ish days. Just so you don't have to wait as long as my normal videos, once every 5-ish days. And I'll put this all into a playlist, so if you're watching in the future, you can watch them all at once without having to go through my channel. Alright, now that we've got the idea part out of the way, let's go into some actual tips. Firstly, if you're pretty new, you probably don't know about this feature up here, but if you look at your menu, you'll see these two little things, position snap and rotation snap. These might not seem very important, and I didn't at first, if you have a look at my older maps, but realistically they're going to be some of the most important things that you'll need to know about verification. Let's say we're making a little city and we've got these. This is the most average new person's position and rotation snap. You'll probably just put them something like this. And if you can tell, it looks pretty slanted and stuff. Like, look at this building. And they're all kind of rotated in different ways. But let me tell you about my best friend, the rotation snap. Adjusting this to even 15 will help you so much, as it allows you to go straight, and then you can copy and paste to make much more straighter. Looking at your controller, this is the delete button and this is the copy paste button. Copy paste button allows you to copy stuff. Now, one of the ways that you can make really straight blocks is by using the copy and paste button and this little green arrow. By holding copy and paste and then holding onto this green arrow, you get the exact same height and the exact same location, but all you're doing is just moving it side by side now. You can do this by going up as well, and it goes straight no matter how much you move your controller like that. And it's so much easier for making a lot of stuff like buildings, because now I've got this little building set up, and it's much straighter than these buildings, all nicely done. And if you want different heights, select a few by doing this. Hold down on your trigger, and on your joystick, hold left and right to make it go bigger and smaller. By doing this, now you can actually select multiple blocks at a time, and then adjust height and stuff as well. You also don't need to adjust this bubble, but the bubble makes it bigger, allowing you to select more blocks at a time, while otherwise if it's smaller and you can't see very well but it's there, then it's harder to select a lot. But this allows you to adjust heights and other things for your buildings and whatever you're making. Now I've got this building set up, and we can walk around like a mega Godzilla. Another thing to note is don't make floating buildings like this, because this allows your player to sometimes go underneath if it's high enough. And imagine if this was a wall that you were trying to make, then they could just go under. If I could reach down, and they can go through the wall. So try and avoid stuff like that, because it's gonna have less chance of you getting verified. Now that we've got rotation snap out the way, let's talk about position snap. You're probably wondering how people make those little jump charts. And here is how some people think they're made. They make a little line, and then they do some copy paste like this. But look what happens. You get seed clipping, they're not all accurate, and this isn't even a meter. So what you want to do is go to your next best friend, position snap. And what this is going to allow you to do is, by adjusting this to 1 meter, that is an actual meter now. Wow, it's so much bigger than before. And we can adjust this to the length and then copy and paste it to get an actual jump chart like this. Now I've got a legit jump chart that's really easy, but position snap can also help with a lot of other things, not just jump charts. Please don't make a jump chart, that's not an original idea, and this has been done way too many times, I swear. But you can do a lot of other things with position snap, like making checkerboards, for example. If we have a cube, we can just make a few copies of this cube, make some of them a color, do a bit of rotating, and all of a sudden you've got a checkerboard. If you're a bit more advanced and you know about all of this stuff, good, you can probably skip to it quite a bit because I'm just trying to teach the new beginners here. Now, another thing that I'm going to teach you about is color theory. You might not understand color theory, and if that's you, then okay, that's a lot of people. I've taught this to quite a few people. I'm going to get rid of this goddamn position snap. But let me ask you a question. Which colors do you like more? These colors or these colors? I'm about 99% sure you answered these colors. These colors are nicer because, first of all, they're in a gradient. But even if we were to randomize these, they still fit together because they are around the same sort of colors. While these ones are completely random. First up, you've got a orange, you've got a blue. First of all, they're nearly at the opposite angle. You've also got a yellow surrounding that. And then you've got this random purple, which realistically should be somewhere closer to here. Even then, after doing a bit of sorting out in the gradient, even if this one isn't a gradient, this one is still probably better because all of these colors are closer together, while all these colors are spread out in the color wheel. That is very basic color theory. I don't even know if that is color theory, but just having blocks that fit together work very well. We're also going to be talking about the background of a level. You see this level? It's mainly using blues, reds, and yellows. And for this, I've picked a nice dark blue, almost navy. And it fits pretty well with the actual Gone aesthetic that I've made. But now we're going to change up the colors randomly, add some random hues, and this does still kind of fit because it fits with the yellows. But if we were to pick one that doesn't even feature in the level whatsoever, like this green, it still looks okay because this isn't a very good example. But let me find a better example. Coming over here, some levels just work, but if I have this weird purple, the green is almost opposite of that, and if you've got all of these purples, it doesn't work out as nice. An actual probably better example is red, as reds work out worse. Also, if we've got this white, it's better to use colors like the grays for those white colors. If I make this fully white and saturate this, these colors fit better. But after all that color theory, you've basically got some basic steps to actually making some decent stuff. Up next, you don't want to just place random blocks everywhere and expect it to work out like that. Like I said, copy and pasting is a really good feature. Making sure stuff is straight and equal instead of having a kind of not accurate one. Because if I add this line, as you can see, there's a gap. But if I do it again from an even further distance, you might think, oh, that looks pretty straight. But if I make an actual line, you can see that there is a huge gap almost the size of my controller here. So that's why using copy and paste is such a good feature, because it allows you to make straight things, and it is one of my most favorite things in Grab. Also, you can see that I'm using this little bubble feature a lot. I've already talked about this already, but please use it. It's so simple. Hold the trigger, move your joystick left or right while holding down, and you can do this on both hands too. Oh, speaking of that, on this controller, look at this. I don't know if you can see what's happening, but I am currently deleting objects without touching them. That is the undo and redo button. If you make a mistake, like, for example, deleting the entire level, what am I going to do? Press the undo button. All you have to do is press down on your controller while holding, and it undoes or redoes the mistake. Alright, so now we've learned about some basics, let's do a bit of lobby building. I'm also going to do this in the second episode, so you can probably skip over that in the next episode after. But making text is quite easier than most people think. For example, if I have this red object and I just want to make the word text, that look good? Yeah. No, get rid of all of that. Start with your first line like this. Now I'm actually going to go all the way down over here so it's a little bit easier to see. Alright. If we want to make a T and we just have a line, all we need to do is use copy and pasting and this little blue square, and we can move around this. And look at that. We've made a T in about 3 moves just by doing that. And oh, we want to make an E? Okay, I better make a new line for that. No. Just grab the old T, copy and paste it, and move the line. And oh, you've only got 2 more lines to create. Boom and boom. And you've already made half the word text. Now, the next part is actually quite hard because even if we were to grab one of the parts and rotate it 45 degrees, now, let me show you something. Even if this is straight, it doesn't match. So what we need to do now is extend the length to make sure our little curves are correct, and we just copy and paste it and we've got the X. Also, if you've got a 45-degree angle and you want to try and move it straight, use a different block like lava, for example, put it somewhere, and then use the trigger, grab onto the lava block and hold onto that. You might have seen me do that maneuver just before. Now we almost have the entire word text here. Now the last thing we need to do is make another T. But look who's here, we've already got a T. So all we need to do is copy that and we've got text here that looks much better than what we made before. Show me what we made before. You see what I mean? Well, we've learned the main bits of the basics that we need to know. In the next episode of this little mini series, I'm going to be actually building the map with you guys, showing you how it comes to life, and then in the last episode we'll be bug fixing, testing, playing, and publishing the level to make sure that it gets verified, along with tips to grow your level. One last thing before I go. If you're one of the people that like to make story maps and want to build characters or something, another map I would recommend checking out is this Choo Choo is Cool map. I saw it, I'll try and find it. There should be an image on screen of that right now. Go check that out. But anyways, if you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, it will help me out a ton. And if you want to see more episodes of this mini series, make sure to turn on notifications to make sure you get notified of the next episodes. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.